Okay, I want to talk to you about your spelling. And I have to say, I love how you spell. Don't ever change. I think you're a fantastic speller. And I know you're not a speller like other spellers. And I have to say, it's cool. I embrace and rejoice in your difference and your ability to think outside the spelling box, that you have an ease and a freedom with your relationship to the I and the E as it sits in a sentence, and the double T and the ing thing. I think it's cool that you haven't, closed down your brain so much that it has to be one way. You are not stuck in a rut with regard to this spelling. I think it's cool and I'm inspired by it. I think it's great. And I know you've had to endure a lot of persecution for the way you spell, and I have to say, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. But I think you should, at this point, let go of any guilt, shame, insecurity, or self-consciousness you have about the way you spell. Because I love the way you spell. I think it's so cool. I see that you invent words sometimes that I've never thought of before. And sometimes you spell a word correctly when you really intended to write another. But even in that the choice to put one word instead of another, it reveals so much important information. Like the time that you wrote that the biscuits needed 1 tablespoon of baking soda instead of tablespoon. I read that and I was like, oh my gosh, you do need to get a table soon. You don't have a table and you need one. That slippage, that little fissure, that little crack in the language told me so much that was so important. And I have to say, that kind of information, you can usually only get it with hypnosis or therapy, and that's super pricey. But your fluid, flexible, innovative spelling gives me all sorts of information all the time, which is invaluable. And I have to say, come on, you're in good company. A lot of cool people are into spelling. Da Vinci, Einstein, Jane Austen, Franklin, Benjamin Franklin, cool people. And you're in good company. I don't think you have to apologize. And I have to say, I think you should probably at this point start subscribing to the surgeon's first rule of surgery, which is never say oops, say there. So if there's an unconventional spelling and someone calls you on it, don't apologize, don't go oops, or just be like, there, that was intentional. That was my soul speaking and my soul resisting the tyranny of the culture and of language which tries to suppress and control passion and dirty, unruly thoughts. It's your rebellion, your resistance. So don't apologize for that. That's what we need. And I have to say, come on. There are people to blame. You can blame Old English, you can blame the monks or the subscribers. I mean, there's a reason that it's so complicated, but I'm saying you don't need to blame anybody because it's perfect the way you're doing it. It's perfect. But if you wanted someone to blame, there are people to blame, but don't do it because it's perfect. And I have to say, if people are going to judge you because of the way you spell, good piece of information for you to have, because you can say, I don't want to hang with a person like that. Because if a person does not know how to judge another person except by their spelling, that they have no internal moral compass that allows them to determine someone's worth by their integrity instead of their spelling, dump them. You're psyched. And it's true. Sometimes it makes other people feel good about themselves because you can't spell. They're like, oh, no, she can't spell, whatever. Give them a little buzz. And you can be like, oh, note to self, a little wee bit insecure. And again, Webster, I'm sorry. That's, he's one of the people that put down the clamps on us. And I have to say, he was a freak. He was a Calvinist. And my sister dated a Calvinist and it's trouble. They're into fear of God and submission to authority. And I have to say, you're not into that. And I'm glad. And I would say, please remember what Thomas Jefferson said. He said very clearly that he could not respect a man who could only spell a word one way, and I'm with him. I respect you and your fluid, flexible brain and your ability to embrace meaning and let it slip and flow. I love how you spell. Please, oh please don't change.